Okay, so Smithville building level finances. I feel like the process is fairly similar for a lot of school districts across the state, but here's ours kind of defined into a little short summary for new people in the district. So the district level, what we do, we have 3 elementary schools, a middle school, and then a high school. So our district level budget is created with the state statutes in mind. There's quite a few rules you have to follow essentially. And the Board of Education policy, so they have annual goals that they want to meet, and they'll approve the budget to help achieve those goals. So then the central office comes up with a strategic plan for the budget for the year, and just depending on what we want to accomplish, again, it'll change where they allocate funds to. Not a whole lot, but it just kind of depends on, like, say we want to go one-to-one in technology, we'll allocate more funds to the high school to start with them one-to-one first and then work our way down. So it just depends, again, on the annual goals. And so, like I said, the budget supports goals and objectives, which the Board of Education votes on and approves. And so it's a big team effort, but that's how we do the district level budget. So then you get down to a building level, and the budget is created on a per pupil basis, so it's really just enrollment. So obviously, if you have more students in your building, you're going to have more money to work with. The budget includes equipment, supplies, books, nurses, guidance, sped, career ed, budgets, and like so on. So there's a lot that goes into it. About 75% of the funds are personnel costs. So that's just your teachers, your maintenance, your nurses, your bookkeepers, your admin assistants, all those people. The one exception, though, that we normally do is, again, if there is a goal that the district wants to accomplish, then that building may receive more funding. So, for example, I already used this one, but technology funds, if we wanted to go one-to-one, it would take more that year, so we would increase the budget for that year. And we always have a surplus in our budget, just in case an emergency happens, then we're good for a couple of years, depending on what the emergency is. Activities budget, so every building's going to have an activities budget. It's about 25% of the total building budget. When you get to the high school level, it's really divided mainly apart by the sports clubs and all the activities that we offer. When it comes down to elementary and middle schools, it looks a little different. It'll be after school programs. Middle school's still got the sports aspect to it, but not as much. And so there's just different programs depending on what it is. The Booster Club really helps out a lot with the activities budget. They will give funds to any building depending on what it is, as long as it has a good reason and a cause, and it's voted on by that Booster Club. I believe, if I remember correctly, we raise around $60,000 a year for the Booster Club, so we are very fortunate in that aspect. And then, like at the high school level, I know the activities, it's on a cycle, so every team's going to have more money depending on the year to get new uniforms and new stuff like that, so it just kind of depends. So then for the activities, we do have a procedure, though, if they want to buy something outside of that budget. And so we have purchase orders. I forgot to mention on the last slide, if they wanted to raise funds, then you can do that as well as an activity. So the activity sponsor is going to put in a PO request. The bookkeeper compares that request with the money that's left in that account for that activity. And again, if you want to fundraise money, you can put that money towards your account, and you have to for the school because we want to log it. And then the bookkeeper says, okay, is there enough money? And then we approve it, she approves it, and then it goes on to the assistant principal or the principal, depending on what the purchase order is for. And then that administrator will either approve or deny that request, and they won't even check the balance because they know it's already been checked by the bookkeeper. So it really just kind of comes down to, is the funds going to a good cause? Are we allocating it to what we want it to go to? All right, so that's kind of a breakdown of how we do it from district to building, and then down to your activities for your clubs. Are there any questions for me that I missed? If not, that is it. Thank you, guys.